Hey there, prep stars. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a massive science adventure to solve one of the biggest mysteries out there.
I mean, how do we really know if something is alive? You look at a rock, you look at a puppy, you look at a plant. What's the difference? How can we be sure? Well, that is the big mystery we're going to crack together in this explainer.
And hey, you're definitely not the first person to wonder about this. Scientists have been on this case for ages. And you know what they came up with? A special checklist to figure it all out. We're going to learn a super simple version of that list today. Just 5 key rules.
Yep, that's it. Just 5. But trust me, these 5 rules are incredibly powerful. They're our secret weapon for telling what's living and what isn't.
So here they are. Living things move, they grow, they breathe, they need food, and they reproduce. This list, this is basically our detective's toolkit for this whole investigation. You ready? Let's dive in.
All right, first things first. Let's kick off our investigation with rule number 1 on our checklist. Every single living thing moves.
Now, the key here is that they move on their own. We're not talking about something getting pushed by the wind or carried by a river. Nope. We mean it has the power inside itself to move, like a dog walking, a bird flying, or a fish swimming around. Okay, but wait a second. What about plants? They're just kind of stuck in the ground, right? Well, not exactly. They move too, just really, really slowly. Think about a sunflower. Over the course of a day, it actually turns its big, beautiful head to follow the sun across the sky. How cool is that? That's definitely movement.
All right, time for clue number 2 in our great life mystery. Here it is. All living things grow.
I mean, it's such a basic part of life, right? It's all about getting bigger, getting stronger, and changing as time goes by. Just about every living thing you can think of starts out small and, well, it grows. And you see this literally everywhere. A tiny little puppy eventually becomes a full-grown dog. A little kitten turns into a cat. And a single teeny tiny seed can grow into a huge, strong tree. It's a classic sign of life. Okay, rule number 3, breathing. Now, hold on, because this doesn't look the same for everything. But the main idea is that all living things exchange gases with the world around them. So for us humans and lots of animals, we use our lungs, right? But fish, they use gills to pull oxygen right out of the water. And plants, they've got their own super cool system, using tiny little pores in their leaves to do the job.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. There's this incredible partnership between animals and plants. See, we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. But plants, they do the total opposite. They take in that carbon dioxide we don't need and they release the oxygen that we do need. It's like a perfect team.
Okay, moving on to rule number 4. Think about it. To do all that moving and growing we just talked about, living things need fuel. They need energy. And where do they get that? Well, they all need food.
Food and water. That's the stuff that provides the energy to power, well, everything. Everything a living thing does. Without that fuel, life just stops.
So animals get their food by eating other things, right? Some munch on plants, others eat other animals. But plants are like master chefs. They literally make their own food using nothing but sunlight, air, and water. It's amazing.
And that brings us to our 5th and final rule. This is the big one. This is all about how life keeps on going, from one generation to the next. We're talking about reproduction.
It's a fancy word, but reproduction just means that living things can make more of their own kind. It's how a species, keeps from going extinct.
You see it all over the place. A cat has kittens. A bird lays eggs and they hatch into baby birds. A plant makes seeds and those seeds grow into new plants. It's the circle of life, making sure everything carries on.
All right, prep stars, there you have it. Our 5-point checklist is complete. So, what do you say we put on our detective hats and solve a couple of cases?
This is a perfect example of how our checklist works in the real world. Let's compare a cat and a car. Okay, rule number 1, movement. Does a cat move? You bet. Does a car move? Yup. So far, it's a tie. But let's keep going. Rule number 2, growth. Does a cat grow? Of course, from a kitten to a cat. Does a car grow? No. Rule number 3, breathing. Cat? Yes. Car? Nope. Rule number 4, needs food. A cat absolutely needs food for energy. A car needs gas, sure, but it's not using it to grow or heal itself. And Rule 5, reproduce. A cat can have kittens, but a car definitely can't make baby cars. So you see? Case closed. The cat is alive, the car is not.
Okay, you ready for the master challenge? This is a really tricky one. It trips up a lot of people. It's time to investigate the case of fire.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Fire moves, right? It flickers and dances. It definitely grows, sometimes really fast. And it even seems to consume things. It really does look like it could be alive, doesn't it? Let's put our checklist to the test. Okay, let's run fire through our checklist. Does it move? Check. Yes, it does. Does it grow? Oh yeah, it can spread like, well, wildfire. Check. But now it gets interesting. Does it breathe? Does it exchange gases with the environment? Not really. Does it need food for energy like an animal does? No, it just burns fuel in a chemical reaction. And finally, can it reproduce? Can it make more little fires on its own? No way. So look at that. It fails 3 out of our 5 tests. So the verdict is in. Even though it seems super active, fire is not alive.
So you might be thinking, okay, this is a fun game, but why does this all matter? Well, this checklist, this way of thinking, it's super important. Because understanding these 5 rules is like opening the door to the entire incredible world of biology.
When you know what makes something alive, you can take way better care of your pets and your plants. It helps us understand why we need to protect our environment. And really, this is the starting line for biology, the actual study of life. Pretty much everything else you'll learn about living things builds on these 5 simple rules. Seriously, you all did an awesome job today. You've totally mastered the 5 rules of life. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge, you're officially a life detective. Great work! So I'm going to leave you with a final challenge. Now that you have this powerful checklist, I want you to look at the world around you. What's the absolute trickiest, non-living thing you can think of that kinda seems alive? Maybe a river or a cloud? Put it to the test with our 5 rules and see what you find out. See you next time.